uphill and downhill and 90 degrees. Ah! If you want to know more about the track, continue watching right here, right now. Greetings petrolheads and welcome to romrom.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing and to It's a Mod world where we test different mods for different sims to see if they add to our enjoyment. My name is Serta and I will be your host for this video. Welcome to the America Assetto Corsa Mod. I've seen this track driven so many times in real life and in sims that for a short while I was sure I had driven on it already and knew what I was doing. If only. Not only did I start on the wrong foot with this track, I had difficulties memorizing it, as I had with the Misano track. But this time I suppose I had to train my memory to forget the videos and start relearning the track. Anyway, this is a track by renowned mod maker Lilski, who has a consistent track record, see what I did there, of bringing forth good to excellent Assetto Corsa mods, especially Assetto Corsa track mods. Oh yeah! As always, you can download this Assetto Corsa Road America mod through the link in the description. Before we start, remember that if you want to be informed about new videos, click subscribe and also click on the bell and become part of the ever-growing RomRom family. I like the graphics, which fit to the driving feeling. You could say that it looks the way it feels and feels the way it looks. In any way, while the graphics are not over the top excellent, they fit quite well and give you the atmosphere needed. This track feels very good on the force feedback. I felt every imperfection on the road, every bump and every curve. I always had the impression I was feeling the right amount of vibration, for lack of a better word. Any accidents I had were not because I didn't feel where I was or what the car was doing. This is a complex track that I haven't learned completely yet. I'll get you in the end, Road America. The track's also difficult because of some hidden apexes. Anyway, let's start. You have a long start and end straight on a hill, so you'll start uphill and end downhill. Keep that in mind for your braking point into the right. Here, as with many other corners, it's a good idea to aim for the curb on the apex and expect to go long on the exit. Assetto Corsa gives you a lot of leeway with the track limits, or rather Lilski did when setting up track limits. A mostly straight part follows, but don't let it fool you. At some point, at last, I learned that it was not the best idea to push like crazy, as the next corner is trickier than it looks. It's again a right-hander, but it's a 90-degree one, of which you'll find plenty on Road America, and don't avoid the curbs. The ones on the apex will help you take the corner as tight as possible, the ones on the exit will let you survive the corner. Again, this corner is followed by a kinda straight that goes slightly downhill after about the middle of it, turning very slightly to the right. If you got the corner before in the right way, you may have enough speed difference to the driver in front that you can pass using a little bit of slipstream if necessary. But don't get too entangled in the battle, as the next corner is a left-hander with 90 degrees. Seems that over the years enough pilots have had issues with this corner, as there is a big access road here that you can use if you block the brakes and overshoot the corner, which would not surprise me at all. You normally have enough tarmac to come back to the race, crying bitter tears of course. A small straight uphill hides the next 90-degree corner to the left. I advise to start thinking about braking latest under the bridge or you'll crash, as I did more times than I want to remember. Very short straight and we turn to the right in yet another 90-degree corner, followed by a longish straight that ends up in a 90-degree corner to the left. While on the corner exit you could use the curb, it ends quite abruptly and you may lose the car or at least some speed easily. For once, you should better not count on the exit curb. Next up is a long right-hander which you cannot drive full throttle. Learn in your practice rides how much throttle is good here for the car you are driving on that race and at which point of the curve. As with everything in this track, it's not as easy as it seems. The curve ends in a short straight, and even if you think you still have lots of time to get to the next curve, as soon as the track darkens even slightly, prepare to brake or get the foot off the throttle or whatever your car needs to be able to take the next right-hander. Look looks easy peasy, it is not, and even pros will tell you, in real life this curve can make your car quite squirrely. Eat up the curb on the apex if you did everything right. Even so, you may need the curb on the exit of the curve on the left to survive. Next is a soft and longish left that's almost a straight. But it ends in a 90-degree or almost to the right where the exit goes uphill. You'll notice there's a lot of runoff on the exit, for good reason, as many a pilot needs it to survive the corner. Don't be that pilot. I ran off enough for the both of us. Small left followed by a tight right uphill where you cannot see the apex, so you'll have to memorize very well where and how to brake. Short straight, and we're nearing the 14th and last corner in this track, which is yet again a 90-degree because they seem to have been in fashion when they made Road America, or something like that. And you're uphill on the start and end straight, happy to have survived a lap, with enough more to go to mess things up royally. Nice AI line, a little bit too good for my taste as I started 4th, drove myself to 1st place and ended 6th in my best race here. Interestingly enough, I had some AI drivers abandoning the race as they went out. Either Assetto Corsa or the AI line within the mod left them too much freedom, and they would often land in the gravel in their fight against other AI pilots. Everything feels right in this mod, and while Lilski warns that some third-party mods make this mod crash, I didn't have any issues at all with it. It's by no means an easy track, but I still loved the flow of it, even with the many 90-degree corners. The track felt good on force feedback, and while the graphics are not excellent, they are good enough to give you the right amount of immersion. And it's not like you will have lots of time and leisure as to enjoy the vistas anyway. Is it one of the best mods for Assetto Corsa? Well, it's quite good, and I like driving here and with this mod. The graphics are okay-ish and everything felt right. I don't think you can go wrong with this mod. On the other hand, at the moment it's the only way to race Road America in 2020, right? At least on Assetto Corsa. We continue to explore the database and find the best free mods for Assetto Corsa, so check the playlist to the left or the video to the right. Until next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other at the podium.
Visit romrom.net to connect to fellow sim racers and sim racing fans.